I assume I'm speaking in English, right? אני אגיד לך למה, בגלל שיש לי עוד שיעור שמצטרף והם לא מדברים עברית. טוב. מה? כן, בווידאו. כן. לא הבנתי, אבל... מה? ערב טוב. Hi everybody. יש לי אנשים אחרים על הקו שהם לא מדברים עברית, אז אני אדבר קצת עברית, קצת אנגלית, אני אתרגם בינתיים. בסדר? Okay, everybody, I'm going to be speaking in both Hebrew and English because the other people on the line, which I wasn't aware of until this moment, are actually all Hebrew speakers. So I'm going to have to wing it as we go along. I speak Hebrew fluently, but I'm going to have to wing the translation as we go along. Okay, Tov. So I'll speak first Hebrew and then English. I hope everyone will bear with me. Okay, so we've come to the holiday of Lag BaOmer. אנחנו הגענו לחג של ל"ג בעומר, וצריכים להבין בדיוק מה כל העניין של ל"ג בעומר, מה עושים כל כך הרבה רעש מל"ג בעומר. Why do we make such a big thing about Lag BaOmer? Yes, it's the passing of the Rashbi, Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, the author of the Zohar, שהוא חיבר את הזוהר, אבל צריך להיות משהו יותר קצת מסתם עניין של הילולה. יש דברים בגו, יש משהו בפנים. There must be something in it as to why we celebrate this day to such a great extent. In normal years, this year no, but in normal years, hundreds of thousands of people converge on Miron, where Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai is buried, and his son, and the celebrations go on the whole night and often into the next day, well into the next day. כל החגיגה נמשך עד למחרת, כל הלילה עד למחרת, והמון אלפי אנשים מגיעים לשם. אז צריכים להבין מהו בדיוק העניין של ל"ג בעומר. We have to understand what ל"ג בעומר therefore is. So, חז"ל שואלים בכמה וכמה עניינים, לדוגמה, בעניין של פורים, שואלים, המן מן התורה מניין? איפה המן נרמז בתורה? The sages asked, for example, with Purim, where is Haman hinted to in the Torah? So we can ask the same question. Where's Lag BaOmer hinted to in the Torah? איפה העניין של ל"ג בעומר, איפה יש רמז לזה בתורה? צריך להיות איזשהו רמז. There has to be some kind of clue, some kind of hint as to what is going on. Because we have a rule, and the rule is the leikim idei, the law remiza v'araisa. There's en shum davar shelo nitramez b'Torah. There's nothing that's not hinted to in the Torah. Since the Torah is the blueprint of all creation, of all things from the beginning of time to the end of time, therefore it must be that it's hinted to somewhere in the Torah. אלו הדפטראות שהקדוש ברוך הוא ברא את העולם ונמשכים מהתחלת העולם עד סופו, ולכן צריך להיות רמז לעניין הזה גם בתורה. So the various sources have brought two verses. המקורות מביאים שני פסוקים שמתארים את העניין, או יש להם רמז לעניין של ל"ג בעומר. There's two verses that hint to ל"ג בעומר. One of them is a verse in Parshas Vayetze. In Parashat Vayetze, this is in Genesis 31:52, which says as follows: Eid Hagal Hazeh, Va'edah HaMatzeva B'chulu. Eid Hagal Hazeh. שלבן, שיעקב ברח מלבן, ולבן רדף אחריו, when Jacob ran away from Lavan, and Lavan chased him. Laban was chasing after Jacob. So eventually he caught him, הוא השיג אותו, ובסופו של דבר הוא לא עשה מה שהוא רצה לעשות. He didn't do what he had planned on doing, which is to kill Jacob, to kill Yaakov. But they made a pact. They made peace between them, and they built a wall, a barrier between the two of them. Not really a wall, but a barrier, a pile of stones, which is called a gull. Eid hagal hazeh. And they said, this gull, this pile of stones, האבנים האלו, יהיו סמל וסימן שאני לא אעבור אליך לעשות לך רעה, ואתה לא תעבור אליי לעשות לי רעה. It was a sign, and I think they call them in English actually a cairn, C-A-I-R-N, a cairn of stones, which is a pile of stones to remind people that there's a border over here. And the border was not a border which you need a passport to go through, but a border in the sense of, you're not going to come and do bad for me, to me, and I'm not going to come and do bad to you. אני לא אעשה לך רע, ואתה לא תעשה לי עניינים רעים. And that's sort of the peace between them. That's the first verse. The second verse is Gal Einai va'abita niflaot mitoratecha. The second verse is a verse in Tehillim in Psalms that says, open my eyes, Gal Einai va'abita, and I will see niflaot, wonders mitoratecha, from your Torah. I'll see wonders from your Torah. Okay, let's begin to discuss אנחנו צריכים להבין קצת יותר עמוק את שני הפסוקים האלו. We have to discuss these two verses and understand what they are coming to tell us. According to one of the pirushim in Kabbalah, לפי אחד מהפירושים בקבלה, למה רדף לבן אחרי יעקב? לא לעשות לו לרעה, אלא שיעקב לא בירר את כל הניצוצות שהיו אצל לבן, והוא רדף אחריו דווקא להחזיר לו, לתת לו את הניצוצות האלו כדי לברר אותם. Lavan wasn't intending, in the deeper explanation of things, in the Kabbalistic explanation of things, Lavan was not intending to do any harm to Jacob. He was actually intending to bring him sparks of holiness that had been left with Laban, with Lavan. In other words, when Jacob was with Lavan, all the time that he spent with him, the 20 years that he spent with him, that time was spent in Jacob raising up. הוא עשה את העבודה של בירור ניצוצות, מה שנקרא בקבלה. זאת אומרת, היו חלקים של קדושה. There was aspects of kedusha, of holiness, that he was raising up through all the works that he did with Lavan. But when he left Lavan, there was still some sparks left. נשארו ניצוצות, והוא רצה להביא אותם כביכול ליעקב כדי לברר אותם. ועשו הסכם ביניהם שלעניינים האלו אנחנו נעבור אחד אל השני כדי לעשות, לברר את הניצוצות, אנחנו כן ניפגש, אבל חוץ מזה לא. So the agreement was that in order to, for there to be a proper and a full rectification and elevation of the sparks that are buried within within the world, so therefore they can pass by this pile of stones to do good for each other, but not to do bad for each other. Okay. One of the explanations of what this represents to us today, מה כל העניין הזה של היום, מה אנחנו מבינים מהעניין של הגל של אבנים היום. So one of the explanations is that it is a barrier to give us to understand that although we're allowed to be involved in things in the world, האומנם שאנחנו עוסקים ויש לנו רשות לעסוק בענייני עולם, nevertheless, there has to be some kind of a barrier. We have to understand that there's limitations. Why? Because since we could be involved in the work of elevating the world, it could be that the world is actually going to do the opposite. And in fact, what can happen is exactly the opposite kind of situation. In other words, that the world can have an influence on us instead of us influencing the world. Instead of us raising up the sparks can drag us down because the sparks are clothed within the world around us. בגלל שהניצוצות הם מלובשים בתוך גשמיות העולם, ייתכן ויכול להיות שהבן אדם ייגרר אחרי ענייני העולם, ואדרבה הוא לא יברר אותם, אלא הם ימשכו אותו לתוך העניינים הגשמיים גרידא. זאת אומרת שהוא ירד ממדרגתו, ולהפך, לא רק שלא יעלה את הניצוצות, יברר את הניצוצות, אלא אדרבה הם יורידו אותו. They'll bring him, these sparks will bring him down to the level of the gashmias, the physicality in which they are enclosed. So therefore, we have to be careful about that kind of thing. But how does the pile of stones remind us? איך הגל הזה מזכיר לנו את העניין הזה? בגלל שהגל הם מאבנים פשוטים. וכתוב בספר יצירה שהעניין של אותיות הם נקראים אבנים. שני אבנים בונים שני בתים. Two stones built two houses. The Sefer Yetzirah explains that the word stones in Hebrew is a hint to the letters of the Torah. But it's the letters of the Torah in such a way that they are very, they're not, how do you say, they're not, הם לא גמישים. הם חזקים כמו אבנים. They don't move. They don't change. They're rigid as stone. So in other words, that barrier has to be rigid. There can't be a fluid barrier between things. The barrier has to be rigid. Until this point, I'm allowed to do, and that's beyond that, I'm not. And that is one of the concepts that also relates to Lag BaOmer, which is in Hod Shebahod. The Sfirot, when we start counting the Omer, we start counting the Sfirot from Chesed Shebechesed, Chesed V'Chesed, kindness within kindness. We count the Sfirot all the way down until we reach the time of Lag BaOmer, Hod Shebahod. אנחנו סופרים את ספירת האומר, וכוונת של ספירת האומר, אחד מהכוונות זה העניין של הספירות. הספירות מתחילות ביום הראשון של האומר, הוא חסד שבחסד, עד שאנחנו מגיעים לל"ג בעומר, שזה הוד שבהוד. מה זה עניין של הוד? עניין של הוד זה הודאה. The concept of hod is related to the word hoda'ah, that means acknowledgement. Acknowledgement of something that is greater than ourselves. We acknowledge, we don't argue, we don't bring our brains, we don't bring our mind into it. אנחנו לא מביאים את השכל ואת המוחין, את ההבנה לתוך העניין. אנחנו מודים שאתה צודק. זה עד פה ותו לא. There's a limit, and the limit between, the limitations between holiness and unholiness are very stark and very, very clear, and we can't play with the borders of it. We accept it the way it is. זה מה שנקרא בלשון הקודש, נקרא קבלת עול. We have to take it as a given. This is the accepting the yoke of heaven the way it is, the way it's presented to us. Okay. That is one of the ideas. The other idea is, that is one of the psukim, rather, that's one of the verses. The other verse states that Gal einai va'abita niflaot mitoratecha, open up my eyes and I will see wonders from your Torah. So, in other words, this is a verse in Psalms, actually, 119, verse 18, Psalms 119, verse 18, Kuf Yutet, Pasuk Yudchet. כאן מבקש דוד המלך, מבקש בעל התפילה כאן, מהשם, שיפתח עיניו ויראה נפלאות מתורתו. He's asking, he's requesting, he's begging, he's praying that God open my eyes that I can see wonders from your Torah. So, lichura, at first glance, we would say that niflaot are ideas that are covered. The whole concept of something nifla, עניין של נפלאות בתורה, זה עניין של למעלה מהשכל. אז איך אפשר לבקש, מה הכוונה שמבקש פתח עיניי, גל עיניי? היה צריך לבקש, תוריד את הנפלאות למקום שאני אבין אותם. Shouldn't the verse preferably have said, not talking about niflaot. Niflaot are the wonders of the Torah, the wonders, and wonders by definition is something that we don't understand. It's something that transcends intellect. So shouldn't it have preferably said that bring down the wonders to a level that I can understand them? Why does it say gal einai? the נפלאות המכוסים מצד עצמם, למה גל העיניים? צריך להיות עניין להוריד את הכיסוי. It should have been that the covering should be removed from the niflaot so that I'll be able to understand it. So there's a sikha from the Lubavitcher Rebbe where he explains, he brings the medrash. There's a medrash, rabbinic literature, and the medrash is talking about the time that the Torah was given. Before the Torah was given to the world, there was a barrier. There was a barrier between heavens and earth. Hashamayim shamayim la'Hashem va'aretz natan livnei adam. The heavens belonged to God, and the earth was given to man, and there was no connection between them. The heavens were the heavens, the earth was the earth. There was no connection. Lo haya shum efsharut la'alot mi'aretz l'rakia or mi'rakia לרדת לארץ. בשביל הקדוש ברוך הוא כן, אבל המלאכים גם כן היה אסור להם לרדת למטה. ואנחנו רואים מה שקרה עם עזאל ועזה וכולו, שהם כן ירדו למטה, הם נפלו. Even those angels that did come down before the time of the giving of the Torah, they fell and they were destroyed thereby. So there was a barrier between heavens and earth. But at the time of the giving of the Torah, that barrier was removed. So the Midrash gives a moshel. הוא נותן Midrash אומר משל. משל למלך שגזר, this is a moshel to a king who gave the order, he gave the ruling, שבני רומי לא ירדו לסוריה, that the people of Rome are not allowed to go down to Syria, and the people of Syria are not allowed to go up to Rome. So there's a barrier between them. So too when HaKadosh Baruch Hu, כשהקדוש ברוך הוא ברא את העולם, when he created the world, he made it so that there would be a barrier between heavens and earth. But afterwards he said, I'm going to nullify this barrier. The king is going to remove the decree that the people from Rome are not allowed to go to Syria, from Syria are not allowed to go to Rome. And he's removing the barrier so that now it's possible for those below, hatachtonim ya'alu lamala, those below can now go up above, and those above can now come down below. And that which is above can now come down below. Va'ani hamatchil, and I will begin, God says, I will begin the process. And that's why it says, Vayeret Hashem al Har Sinai, Hashem came down, God came down on Mount Sinai. He was the one that started. So, in the Midrash, the explanation of the moshel, the analogy that's given is, it says that those down below cannot go up above, and those above cannot come down below. Why does it say it in that order? Those below cannot go above, if the order was that God came down first, so to speak. He came down to give us the Torah. And the answer that's given in Hasidic teachings is that the whole purpose of the giving of the Torah is not that God gives the Torah, but that we take the Torah. It's called Matan Torah when God gives the Torah, but the main thing is Kabbalah Torah, that we receive it in the right way. In other words, the receiving is the main idea, is the main concept. To be able to receive the Torah is what the Almighty wants from us. It's not that He wants to just give the Torah, because just giving doesn't mean that it was received. אם הוא נותן את התורה, לא זאת אומרת שאנחנו קיבלנו את התורה. כל העניין הוא שהוא רוצה שאנחנו נקבל ואנחנו נוכל לעלות מלמטה למעלה. And therefore we'll be able to ascend to a higher spiritual level. We'll be able to go up to the Elyonim. We'll be able to go up to the higher spiritual levels. And that's one of the concepts in Gal Einai, Gal Einai. Why does it say Gal Einai instead of Gal et haniflaot? Why does it say open my eyes rather than just reveal the miracles? Because the whole point is that it's our eyes that have to see. God's eyes already see things. He already sees the way it is. He doesn't, so to speak, he doesn't need it, right? We're the ones that are asking for the ability to be able to see these miracles, to be able to see things that are initially transcend intellect and transcend our understanding. אלו דברים שאנחנו לא מבינים אותם, הם דברים שהרבה למעלה מן השכל, הם דברים מופשטים מהשכל לגמרי, והוא מבקש שנראה את הנפלאות האלו. נראה את הנפלאות האלו, ואיך? mitoratecha dafka. How are we going to see these miracles? From the Torah itself. In other words, from looking into the Torah, from understanding the Torah, from understanding the nigla of the Torah, Moshe kenid gala, from that which was revealed to us, the revealed aspects of the Torah that was given on Mount Sinai, may we see those transcendent aspects, זאת אומרת, סודות התורה, הנפלאות של התורה, הם הסודות של התורה. May we see the secrets of the Torah. Those are the aspects of the Torah that are hidden, that are concealed within the Torah, and we have to work on revealing them. May our eyes see those things from within your Torah. In other words, we acknowledge that we have to do the work of eliciting the concept of niflaot, the miracles, the wonders that are in the Torah from our study of the Torah itself. But we have to put in the effort. And that's the tachtonim ya'alu le'elyonim. That's how the lower creatures will actually rise up to a higher state through working to understand the Torah the way it was given to us. Okay, so this is one of the reasons that is explained as to why the festival lama hachag nikra Lag BaOmer v'lo Lag LaOmer. Yichura haya tzarich liot Lag LaOmer. It seems that it should have been called the 33rd day LaOmer and not BaOmer. But one of the explanations is that Lag BaOmer is the gematria, the numerical value. The words Lag BaOmer are the numerical value of Moshe, the numerical value of the name of Moses, of Moshe Rabbeinu. זה השם של משה רבנו, gematria של השם של Moshe. Lag BaOmer. לרמז לנו, to give us the hints, לרמז לנו, שהרשבי היה הניצוץ של משה רבנו. הוא היה הנשמה או גלגול הנשמה של משה רבנו. ולכן אנחנו מוצאים בכמה מקומות בתוך התורה של הרשבי, ובפרט בתיקונים, שהוא מדבר עם הראיה מהמנה. הוא מוציא את הראיה מהמנה, הוא מביא את הראיה מהמנה ממקום כבודו, למעלה בעולמות העליונים, כדי לגלות את התורה של התיקונים לבני ישראל. We see that the Rashbi, Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, was a spark of the soul of Moses, and that's why we see in the Tikkunim, for example, that he calls up the soul of Moshe Rabbeinu, who was called the Raya Mehemna, the faithful shepherd. He calls him to reveal certain aspects of the Torah on the day, actually, that he passed away. And in the Idra Rabbah, he also calls up the soul of Moshe Rabbeinu to come and reveal to us the deepest secrets of the Torah on the day of his passing, which is the day of Lag BaOmer. So in this we understand one of the important works in Kabbalah is a work called Emek HaMelech. בספר קבלי שנקרא עמק המלך, הוא אומר שם שהרשב"י הגיע למדרגה של הלוחות השניות, שמשה רבנו עלה לקבל את הלוחות השניות. That the Rashbi, Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, reached the level of that Moses was on when he received the tablets a second time. The first tablets were smashed because the first time when Moshe Rabbeinu came down from the mountain, כשירד מן ההר, הוא מצא שהם עובדים עבודה זרה, חטא העגל. He found that they were worshiping the golden calf, and he smashed the tablets, and then God told him, hew for yourself 2 new tablets and bring them up to me and I will write on them again the 10 commandments. אז הקדוש ברוך הוא אמר למשה רבנו לעשות לעצמו לוחות חדשות ולהביא אותם לקדוש ברוך הוא והוא יחרוט עליהם את 10 הדיברות. זאת אומרת, כל העניין של העלייה מלמטה למעלה, העלייה שבאה לתשובה, שמשה רבנו גם הוא נקרא על ידי זה, בגלל שהוא ביקש מהשם לקבל את התשובה של בני ישראל, הוא היה זה שבאמת עשה שבני ישראל יעשו תשובה. Moshe Rabbeinu was the one that brought about that the Jewish people would repent. They would do tshuva, they would return to the Almighty after the sin of the golden calf, and return with all of their hearts, b'chol halev, b'chol ha'ma'od shalem, with all their hearts and with all their might and with all their souls and so on, they would return. And that's the whole concept of Torah, which is given milamata lamayla. The Torah of the Rashbi, תורת הרשב"י זה התורה שניתן מלמטה למעלה. זאת אומרת, אנחנו צריכים לחפש אותו מתוך התורה עצמה. The teachings of the Rashbi is something that's revealed from within the Torah itself. It's not teachings that came down from heaven in the same way that the Ten Commandments came down. On the contrary, the whole concept here is gal einai va'abita niflaot mitoratecha, that we have to look into the Torah to be able to find these secrets and so on. In other words, it's the movement from below to above. When the original Torah was given, that God descended on Mount Sinai. So we see that the two aspects of Torah, milamata lamayla, the seeking of God from below to above, in other words, seeking out the truths of the Torah and the deepest truths of the Torah, depends upon us. And that's the concept of gal einai. And this is the festival of Lag BaOmer is celebrated by Mekubalim, by Kabbalists, and by Hasidim as Matan Torah, the Pnimiut Torah. It's the giving of the Torah of the inner dimension of the Torah. In other words, Lag BaOmer is parallel to the festival of Shavuot, the time that the Torah was given, the festival of Shavuot. It's a parallel thing. But there the Torah was given in a revealed way, and at the time of the Rashbi, Lag BaOmer was given, the hidden Torah was given, the secrets of the Torah were given. And therefore, both of them are really relate to Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is Moshe Rabbeinu who brought the Torah down. משה הוא הוריד את התורה מלמעלה, קיבל את התורה מהקדוש ברוך הוא מלמעלה, ומשה בתורה רשבי, and Moshe as the Rashbi, and that's why Lag BaOmer is the gematria of the name of Moshe, it's the numerical value of Moshe, בגלל שזה היה קבלת התורה מלמטה למעלה, זאת אומרת קבלת התורה, לא מתן תורה, אלא קבלת התורה, the receiving of the Torah rather than the giving of the Torah. And that is what the Rashbi teaches us, that in the world around us, we have to look and we have to see that the niflaot, what are the niflaot of Torah? The niflaot of Torah are, in one word, b'sisma achat en od milvado. The whole teaching of the Rashbi, of the Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, is to teach us there's nothing besides him. That's all there is. There's only him. En od milvado. And that's the secret that we get out of the Torah. When all is said and done, the deepest layer of the Torah is en od milvado. There's nothing else besides HaKadosh Baruch, besides him. En od milvado. Okay, I'm hoping that it'll cover it. סליחה שזה היה בשני לשונות ככה, אבל